Hello everyone and a warm welcome to Füssen in Germany. We're here for the World Curling Federation Olympic Qualification Event 2013 around the town. Some of Bavaria's most beautiful landscapes framed by mountains and lakes, and the stunning castle of Neuschwanstein amongst the most wonderful in the country. This week it's all about qualification for the Olympic Games. It's all happening here in the BLZ Arena in Füssen. Men's and women's teams vying for position in the round robin, and we're focusing on women's draw 5. It's Germany against unbeaten Japan. I'm Alison Walker, and alongside me for this game, Uli Kapp, 2 times Olympian with Germany. Live commentary on the whole game coming up. We'll catch a word with Uli in just a moment, but these are the 2 teams that we are focusing on. Japan against Germany. And here are the lineups. The lead for Germany, Stella Heiss. At second, Nicole Muskatowicz. The third player is Imogen Una Lehmann. And the veteran skip, Andrea Schopper. For Japan, their lead, Michiko Tomobechi. At second, Kaho Onodera. Their third player, Yumiai Funayama. And the skip, Yumi Fuka-Asawara. The standings then, China and Japan out in front, 100% records, 3 wins, no losses. Germany on 2-1, Czech Republic on 2-2, Latvia and Norway 1-3, and Italy yet to get off the mark. And a welcome to Uli Kapp as we look at the other games, Norway and Italy, Latvia and China on sheet D, and the Czech Republic have a bye in this round. Uli, how do you see this one going?
Well, it's going to be a really interesting one for both teams. I mean, for Germany, it's a good chance to fight back against Japan because they're unbeaten so far. So I think for Germany it really counts at this moment. So if they want to get one of these 3 spots to play off, so this one they should win. So it's really important one. So Japan maybe could stand 1 loss. It's not a big thing so far, so still in a good position, but for Germany it counts in this early morning hours.
I always wonder how the players feel about the early morning start.
Well, with the time you get used to it. Of course, it's a kind of question of character, maybe, like if you're a morning person or not. But you have to be, if you're not a morning person, you have to get really sure that you be in bed early and wake up early in the morning to really get prepared, to get activated. That's the most challenge you have. And to get, okay, you're really awake, you make sure. And sometimes people start too early and then they're falling or getting tired again. So that's one challenge you have to take off.
Yep, it's a balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you want to be as ready as possible and get going as soon as possible, be as positive as possible. There's Stella Heiss, the lead for Germany, just 20 years old, but she seems to have been around forever.
Well, quite a while. I mean, she had her major successes like already like 2009 and 2010. Right? 2009 they won the European Championship in Aberdeen, and then 2010 like the world champion title. And I mean, she was like 16, 17 years old at this age, so that's really great success. And also like Andrea really worked with her for when she was really young and built her up. So.
And the Japanese lead, Michiko Tomobechi, very experienced, been around the curling world, 33 years old. From Sapporo in Japan, where the Women's World Championships are heading in a couple of years' time.
Oh, this is going to be an interesting one. I'm really like Japan is really like a booming nation of curling, you can say. I mean, it starts, say, in the 90s when they were heading for Kagosawa for the Olympic curling competitions at the Nagano Olympic Games in '98. So it was really, from this time on, it really starts going to be a big sport there.
And this is Nicole Muskatovic, another youngster in the German team, played in the Youth Olympics in Innsbruck and promoted into the team. And she's settled in very well, hasn't she?
Actually, what I really appreciate, she's a very optimistic person, kind of. She's really like, she feels like I'm here. I'm like in my living room, more or less. Also, she's pretty young and she's quite good technique. So I think it's a good, challenging also the others like Stella Heiss and Corinna Scholz. So it's quite good.
This is
So this is pretty much quite controlled opening of Japan. So they're not forcing anything behind the center guard. So they try to go really on the out part of the house. And so Germany has to be pretty careful now with Nicole Muskatovic that they don't forcing here problems for them. So this is one of the misses you probably don't like the most. They're really difficult or very, very dangerous because you're just touching the guard but not removing it, and then you're really in the risky point. So we'll see in the next camera setting, like still the one shot behind the corner guard, and now it's a good chance for Japan to follow this with a second stone.
Japan usually start their games very, very well indeed, and they did last night, but they let Latvia in a little later on. It became a bit worrying for them, but they still managed to come through it.
That's probably one of the characteristic things of the Japanese teams and even Korean teams, all the Asian teams, you can say, China for example, that they pretty much know what they are doing, but sometimes it's just missing, like to win the big, make the big shots or just win the games. But this team, the way they perform here, they look pretty much that they know what they want and what they need to play. Just asking how much she can see of it, and Imogen said, well, it's probably a quarter. So this is possible maybe for a lightweight takeout, hack weight, to remove this shot stone. It looks like that they're pretty much starting it from the center, that they start to curl right away, then you lose it. When you play from the inside to the outside, you have to get pretty much sure that you don't lose it or starting it. So the curl is much more than you expected then.
And the stone ending up in quite a good position for them.
Yeah.
This is Yumi Funayama, 35 years old, 23 years curling, so that's a long time as well. She has played in 2 Olympic Winter Games as well, so she knows what it's like to get there, and it is a massive deal, isn't it?
Definitely. It's one of the biggest goals you have as an athlete, like to compete once, at least in your life, at the Olympic Games. But I mean, have this experience in your back mind. It's always helpful because then you know how it feels and you know what it needs to get there. But you're on the other hand a little bit more relaxed because you had it already. Somehow you know what it is. And, well,
that sometimes can make you want it more. So.
Talking about experience, I mean, we see Andrea Schaap. She's amazing of looking back on her career.
And she still wants to win as much as she ever did.
Typical. Well, I could tell you some, but I won't like. But she's really like dedicated to the sport. But she actually doesn't really like the Olympic thing. She says at least because too much around. But it's like probably just the way they say. Really nice hit and roll attempt. The only problem I see with this stone is in the back house, and also a little bit to the open side. It rolled a little bit too far.
Yep.
So it should be possible
It's quite exposed there, isn't it?
Yeah.
A reminder of the rules of play for you. They play 6 ends, a minimum of 6 ends, 73 minutes for each team for the game, and there's one coach interaction with the clock continuing during that.
She already probably started a little bit, so the curls right away. So I think this one is on the guard. Yeah. Oh, whoa, whoa, oh. This is a really, I don't want to say disaster, but a really unfortunate stone. So she overcurled and jammed the guard on the own yellow one. And this one also, Germany stays 2 now in the rings. So it's one of the things how our end could change, like the way just 1-2 shots, and they always looked like in this end that Japan was in control. Now 1 roll from Germany and 1 really big mess by Japan, and you're sitting 2.
That's curling.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate she slipped as well, but I don't know how much that did impact on the...
I think she was not on any running stone. So I think they're going for a good call, like not trying any takeout. Also, they had the chance maybe to go on the front yellow one, but they're just placing another red one into the house. Should be maybe front 8 foot. So this is to make sure that you're pretty much in control of the house. It's just sometimes a little bit difficult at the beginning of the game to have the right way to get this spot, because when you're over tee again, it's just an invitation, you can say, for Japan to follow this pass. So now we can see the split time, maybe how the weight it will be between the 2 hawk lines. Estimate close to 14 seconds maybe. So they say maybe it's a little bit longer. So it's 14.9, almost 15. So now there's the swing. Make sure it's not too far. So this a little bit too far, because you can see it's a quite a good angle for double take. I don't understand why they were taking it in the end. So they were really putting up quite an angle for a double takeout, and they just needed to leave it there where it was. 20 centimeters before would be maybe a little bit nicer spot, but anyway.
So, reasonable attempt. You always want more or less.
Of course, yeah. It's always the question where to really place the stone, that the opponent here, Ayumi Ogasawara, has a really difficult shot. You try to force...
She's played well this week, though. She's made a lot of these shots.
Looks good. A little bit. Quite good attempt, really. It's always good when you see yes and no, yes and no. It's always see they look pretty much in control. They could swap a little bit more, but anyway. So you can see quite good. Maybe a little bit less contact to the first one would be, but anyway, it's good. They are shot rock. The German stones are in the back house, so...
Yeah, they just wanted that red to go a bit further and be a bit closer, but...
On the other hand, what you can see on this angle is pretty much, it's just on the right side, it's always a danger for Germany to jam the yellow one back to the red ones. So it's not easy to get this.
Yeah, this is a tricky one for Andrea. What can you say about Andrea Schopper, 48 years old now, 38, and still performing well?
Don't know if it's nice to say, but I would say it like it's a curling maniac, something. Just very passionate about the sport.
Obsessed about the
yeah,
sport.
Obsessed, okay. But really good shot of her. This was really important. Yeah. Nice controlled weight. Make sure that there's no jam. Really good.
Quite understated, but effective.
Yeah.
She's a maths professor at the University of Munich. Started curling in 1975.
So pressure shot for Ayumi Ogasawara. She really needs to play into the forefoot to make at least one in this first end, in this opening. And she needs to draw against 3 red stones. So, but this is one of the things like skips, or those who play the last stones, they really should know that they don't think about what could go wrong in this situation. They just make sure, okay, I need to make this shot. That's my challenge, and it doesn't matter what's maybe happen.
Just be positive.
Yeah.
Concentrate on one thing.
Yeah. So, and the way they play, they look pretty much in control. Okay, that's fine. Good sweeping.
Yep.
I thought they were a little bit too slow, but in the end they made it.
It was deceptive, but it got there. And a decent enough start for Japan. In this game, after the first end, it's Germany 0, Japan 1. Great facility, this BLZ arena, Uli, and played in here a few times, have you?
For me, it's a funny situation. I just said when I came here last night, pretty new situation, because always I was working. I spent so many days and hours in here just preparing ice, playing myself or whatever, getting the curling ice in here. And the first time ever, I was not really much involved in this event so far. So it's a glad opportunity for me to follow the matches here. And
good to have you here. It is a great facility for a reasonably small town, because there's ice hockey and there's another arena as well.
It's far back. I think it was actually there was this really old ice facility here. Like they were open air at the early days, like in the 20s and the 30s. There were almost 30,000 people watching hockey games here. Like it was crazy times those days. Then they built once a roof and it was open to the sides. And then in, I think it was in the late 80s, in the beginning of 90s, they were running down the old complex and putting this new one. And this is just the center of German hockey. So that's why they have the resources at those days. So it's mainly dedicated to hockey, but still when we were running curling events like the European Championships in 1997 and 2007, so we were always in this arena.
Yep, great facilities for these girls and boys bidding to get to the Olympic Games in Sochi in 2014. And we're into the second end of our featured game between Germany and Japan. Japan 100% records so far, taking a point in the first end. And Germany, Uli, looking to build and get a few points in this end.
Yeah, it's really like the only thing what's not too good, like this one center guard, and they're having one, but now they're a good chance, like with a hit and stay, to have like 2 counters in the ring. Questions just like what we're doing with the center guard later on, but right now it's not so important just to keep this shooter in play, but it overcurls a little bit, and that's one of the shots you somehow need to make just to be in control and save your chances for having a good end.
And is that more just they haven't quite got used to the ice yet, or the feel, or just a mistake, or?
It's just tiny things. It's just the way you release those stones. It's just a little bit more. But it also, like in those days, like it's quite different. Like say the last 5 years, maybe go back to like last 10 years. The more the stones are, the shape of the stones are aggressive. The arena ice is more aggressive. It's more swinging. Like you really need to make sure that you play the stone in a very controlled way, with positive handle, a lot of rotation, and also the sweeping is much more the play. The modern curling is depending so much on the sweeping, and if you have a good front end, like good athletic sweepers, they can make
the difference. Yeah. So the release from Nicole there. It's very gentle. And look how far it's going and swinging.
Also like this momentum with just the last meters of the stone, just to get sure to really get it behind the guard. And you have really good sweepers, you can make this happen. It's a good shot, good weight from Nicole Muskatewicz with her first one. And now we have Kaho Onodera. Nice run back attempt, really good. Almost lucky with the yellow one, but this is on the bumper on the side, so this has to be removed. But still, there's one guard in front of the house, so good chance for Germany with another come around. Second stone of Nicole Muskatewicz. A little bit straight, a little bit on the outside, and they need to wait. It's also a little bit much weight. Oh, here it comes. But the butt is it's over T again.
It could still be effective in that position. Let's check on one of the other games going on. Latvia against China, first end. And it's Iveta Zazarsuni with the final stone for Latvia. Just trying to claim her first point. And the first point of that end going to Latvia and successfully executed. So Latvia go 1-up in that game against China. Latvia 1, China 0. China, the team to beat in this qualification event, also have 3 wins just like Japan, and the other teams playing catch up. This really is a must-win game for Germany, isn't it? It's a must-win game for Germany.
Yeah, it definitely is. So they really need to go to stay with a good chance for the playoff positions, like the first 3 places. But this is too short. Come around attempt, but a little bit too light.
Yep, Andrea came out to help, but even that couldn't make a difference.
But that doesn't matter. I mean, it's a really a must-win situation now for Germany. But they just have to focus on the game, on every challenge they have to play, on every situation, and then all the small pieces they somehow have to fit together in the end, and then you make the result, and then you have to focus on the next game. But it's so hard. In theory, it's so easy always.
And it's always very easy for us sitting up here watching.
So a nice draw. Well, that's good. Good call. She asked for a little tap back.
There we go. All the action that's happening in the arena. 3 sheets involved, and one of the teams, Czech Republic, has a bye in this particular draw.
So she really needs to make sure that this one... Oh, that's a very energetic calling. Andrea Schepp, she's very dominant in this team, of course.
That's one way of seeing it.
So that's one of the situations I have to put a little bit of critic on because she really goes for the line, which is okay, but the sweepers were said, okay, this is short, we need to go, and right now they have a situation. I think it doesn't help the stone. Sweep it a little bit more, have it a little bit on the left-hand side so you could use it. So this is totally covered behind the center guards. Yeah. It's not of any help for Germany right now.
It must be quite difficult for the other team members to challenge decisions in any way, shape or form.
That's the problem. Put it away from the German team, but in general, like when you have one person is in charge of everything, it's not working along. Everybody needs to make his own experience, and the sweepers, they just have to make their own decision at the moment. Okay, they go for the weight, and they have this feedback right away. When they make the call, it's short and they go to sweep, and they figure out later on, okay, we were wrong or we were right.
Yeah,
but if somebody or somebody else is taking over this decision, they don't have any experiences by themselves.
But also they're right beside it. They're seeing where it's going and how it's working. So whereas the skip is at the other end.
Yeah. Definitely. And good team performance. I think it's always a result of every pieces of every...
Having the input from everybody. Yeah.
It's just...
Oh, she caught her hand there, and it's a bit chilly, so it was a wee bit sore.
So, it's not looking too nice for Germany right now. They somehow need to make sure that they can open up this guard situation in front of the house. I think they need to hit the first one half and then run back the red one to the yellow one, and then somehow that the first two stones somehow go to the left-hand side. Say hitting the left, the yellow one, the first one a little bit on the right side. The next perspective, what we see from the overhead camera.
Andrea's delivery, and she swings it back.
But it's a little bit outside, I think. So there will be contact to the first, but this was overthrown. No. Technical mistake. That's of no use at all now, right now.
Yeah, she knows that.
Well, she's telling me the other thing she said, well, it was on the broom, but the ice was wrong, so the call for the ice was her conclusion about this, whatever it is.
You curlers blame everything but yourselves.
Yeah, it's depending. I mean, it's just like, of course, you have to analyze. It's just like you, of course, for the next situation, you need to know, okay,
what went wrong.
What went wrong. But then you really have to switch to move ahead and think the positive again and focus on the next situation.
Yep, that one's gone.
Yeah.
So where's this left Japan?
Well, they might go for another draw. I mean, they see the situation in the house is pretty much covered. They have a good chance for another come around to lie two, maybe. I don't know why she's sweeping there. No. Okay, this I like better, yeah. Because she was coming from the really outside and sweeping this. So this is probably the pass they're going.
She's coming up to have another look.
I don't know, now they're switching. Maybe they said maybe there is maybe a chance for Germany to play a run back or something, like with a tap back way to get one single, and they try to prevent Germany from doing so by playing a guard. I would say that they're going for the guard right now. I think both options are quite okay. You could go for another draw, come around line 2, force Germany to really cause some troubles, but this is maybe more defensive stone, just playing a guard.
Yeah, is this slightly easier shot?
Yeah.
And they don't really have to be too risky at this stage.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the things how you decide your tactics. Just make it easy for yourself and make it difficult for the opponent. And by the end of the day, most of the time it works. Well, I only would say there's a run back on the just played yellow one. Play the yellow on the red and the red on the yellow. But of course there's a risk that you lose your own red one if you have the wrong angle. But probably that's the only one you have right now for making just one. Yeah, and she just said it's no chance to go over the own red one to run this back on the other red one. So okay, but now they're going for the center yellow one and run this back with a back house way to the red one and to hit somehow the shot yellow one. We'll see. I think this is pretty tough shot anyway.
So Andrea Schopp, the German skip, with the last stone of this second end.
Starts to curl it. No, they can't hold it. No. Too much swing in the end, a little bit too short maybe, so it's one counter of...
And a couple of poor stones from Andrea to end that particular end for Germany. And it's all about Japan at the moment. They've started an awful lot better after 2 ends. Germany 0, Japan 2. Oh, and there's a kind of resigned, tired-looking smile there.
You want me to interpret it?
She'll be annoyed with herself, though.
Yeah.
Plenty of time to get back into this.
That's definitely. It's one of the situations you really have to, forget it now. It's just, it's happened, and now you have another chance. You're just two behind, and it's still a situation where you can handle it. Just focus on the next ends. Make sure to not go too wild right now. It's just Japan is 2 ahead. You can wait, maybe go for even a blank end in the third and try to get the deuce then in the fourth end. So you're back in the game.
You said Andrea wasn't that bothered about the Olympics. I'm sure she will be deep down. And what an experience for the girls and her team, of course.
Definitely. It's just like, but for her, it's somehow the way she get to this event. She's pretty much, she likes like being in the curling scene somehow. But the Olympics means so much more. It's so much other people involved, and it's so much that she's somehow people taking care of her, what she needs to do. It's the marching in, the whole programming around, the opening ceremonies, all this stuff. It's
she quite likes to do her own thing, though, doesn't she?
Yeah, that's the point. That's the point. And it was coming like back to the Olympic Games, Salt Lake City, 2002, where she was really having some confrontation with the National Olympic Committee of Germany. So she was finally ending up without not going. So she was one chance she could go, could have been her 3rd appearance to Olympic Games, but she was not making it.
She was there in 2010, and they finished 6th, Germany, in 2010.
In 98 as well. She played. And then to Reno, like 2006, Nagano, and 2006, the German women teams were not qualified for the Olympic Games. But she has won in 92, but this was how would you say, in demonstration those days, so it was not real medal sport at those days.
Sport.
So she won gold in Albertville or Trollognon, the curling competition has been.
I wonder where she keeps all her medals and trophies. It must be one very big room.
Yeah.
So while they get this end set up, let's check on the Latvia-China game again. Latvia with that first point in the first end. We're into the second end. And it's Bingyu Wang, the Chinese skip, with the final stone. And they're working quite hard here to get it in. And it's only the one yellow. They had hoped for better there. But she's not too unhappy. China square things up in that first, after that first end.
They're in a really good position. I mean, they had 3 wins, and to me, they look much sharper like the years before. They were struggling a little bit, I think, the last 2 years.
They have had a lull because they had all that success with the World Championships and the Olympics, and
definitely,
things leveled off a little bit. People say they were maybe training too hard.
It's one of the things you need to have the right balance. I mean, every athlete can understand this situation, and especially when you're in this, say, semi-professional or amateur status, it's so hard to keep it up, the motivation and the enthusiasm, the idealism, just to go hard, or beside work or university or whatever you do.
And especially with the Olympics, that's changed the dynamics of the sport and the ambitions of curlers all over the world. So many countries want to get involved in the sport now because of the Olympic Games.
Definitely, and you see maybe a split up even at the E level, the A level. You can see like at the European Championships, not far away. You could see like the top 4 or 5 teams, and the rest are still like in this amateur status, and they're really struggling to cope with the other ones on the top, like Norway, Scotland, Sweden, of course, and Switzerland.
But there are a few emerging nations that are just chipping away and knocking on the door, trying to get in. Here's the timer again. Gives us an idea of the pace of the stone.
Really nice camera on the temp. A little bit over curls, so the red one remains as short rock. Looks like Germany really tries to take some risk. So Nicole Muskatewicz. So just like really make sure that they're sitting in front of this, not too far. So this is okay.
Yep, they're happy with that.
Yeah. Just closes up the pass like on the red one. So you're not... You still have a chance to follow this, but it's getting more difficult to get there on this short rock. So both teams are trying to place their stone somehow, and then the question is who starts to playing a defensive stone. So there's a lot of rotation on this stone, so this stays pretty straight, and therefore they're on the guard. Just played it very active, so that's one of the things you have to be careful. You can play it active, but you have to make sure that you're not making it too straight. So this was probably a little bit too positive. So there was no swing in the end. But the way it ended up, it's not too bad for Japan right now.
Can you be too positive? Can you be too positive?
Well, is it a how to say philosophical question, or is it?
Or is it one of those, you are positive or you are not positive? You are unique or you are not unique? It's a bit early to have a philosophical discussion, I think. This looks nice.
Yeah, it's a good way. But still, I mean, this nice way, but it's still covered now, and then for Germany, no really use right now. They're in it, but there's one how to get rid of this second-placed Yellowstone. So right now they don't have a chance from the German perspective to somehow use the red ones in the 12-foot to run them back maybe later on, or so it's.
Yeah, stones are only good if they are useful.
Yeah. So I think the German team somehow need to open up the situation.
Japan the yellows, Germany the reds, remember?
Really through the board, really nice attempt now. Really good shot, really good shot. Hard to make the call because you always have to somehow be on the red guard on the right hand side, and then you let it go when it just passes. You need to make sure that you also have a chance to pass the other red one in the house.
And just knowing when to sweep and when not to sweep, and they're having to step over a lot of obstacles there. And a pat on the back, that was very nicely done.
Yeah, really good. Now what you can see, I mean, also the skip or Y skip, like they're really well experienced the way they just call the game. Looks very controlled. They know what they're doing out there, and it doesn't look like that they have somehow some, how to say, stress on the ice. Like they're really
quite relaxed and understanding,
controlled,
good understanding.
A lot of communication, and that's the way you have to make it.
Du siehst den so, oder?
The team's only really been together 3 years or so, and yet they seem to have gelled very well indeed.
Oh, it's really the time when Germany needs to make sure that they somehow open up the situation, because they're not even shot anymore.
There's the colours. You can see where the yellows are and where the red is. So what does Andrea do here? What's her thinking?
It's not looking really good. So I think she first needs to focus on the first, somehow split it up there, get somehow a chance to get on the 2 yellow ones in the 4-foot.
Alternativ können wir schnell probieren. Dass entweder die beiden gelben weg sind oder da halt die beiden roten. Ich muss irgendwie mal was bewegen davon.
Yeah, that's what she's saying right now. The question, they were first thinking of somehow remove them, just to replace them somehow with a lower weight, but right now they're going for a hard, for takeout weight, and I think that's the right call. You need to move. You need some rocks to move.
Move about.
Yeah. And so I think just hit the first one, the yellow one on the right-hand side, with maybe 1/3, maybe one quarter, and just to get the other yellow one also to have the 2 reds sitting there, maybe moving them a little bit to have a better setup later on.
Quite a lot of weight.
Yeah, needs it. Yeah. So this was a quite good attempt. So perfect.
Yep, good outcome.
Yeah. That's a really good one. Probably the best result ever they could make out of this shot. Of course, you can say maybe a little bit lucky the way the red one was rolling back, but they were thinking of it somehow.
They knew what they wanted.
Yeah. So Japan is in trouble right now. Also, they're lying short rock, but they pretty much know that they need a really good draw now to make to close up the room, the space there in the forefoot, and to dominate this. Because with the takeout, they cannot really do something, or the guard doesn't help them either.
Yeah, they need to plug that gap.
So the best spot would be, she's pointing at it right there. Thank you, Yumi Funuyama.
She's listening to you. She's listening to you. I've been really impressed with her this week. The couple of times I've seen her, she's very composed.
Well, it's also like the way she plays it right now. It looks very controlled, very good technique. But they always, like the Japanese team, they always had great techniques. Just the outcome is not like the way, or the way they're sweeping. They're really down, pretty much in control, so they know what it's all about. But this one overcurls a little bit, but still it's in a good position. It's not too bad. As long as you make sure that Germany is not getting rid of your own stones, but have a look when the next.
There's their coach having a good look, Fujimiki.
We're waiting for the overhead position again.
He's writing a few notes. What will he be writing at the moment?
Well, probably tactics in this end. Well, I think there was not a mistake. The problem is right now with the second look right now. I think you have a good chance to hit this yellow one, maybe straight, then run the red one on the yellow one on the left-hand side, and then what will happen with the red one in the middle. So make sure the shooter stays in front, and you have a good chance to get rid of at least 2 yellow stones. I think so. Germany really needs to make sure that they keep the shooter in play, centered. What? That was not a good throw at all. Okay, they were getting rid of the shot one, but it was not planned the way. I think she really started it to the inside. Yeah.
She's apologizing, but they are smiling.
Yeah, that's she knew herself, like she was really out at the first, and then she was throwing it inside. And so it was a good alternative shot, I would say.
One way of describing it. So Japan just trying to make it as difficult as possible for Germany.
Just wondering, Germany's sitting 2, I think. So I'm not sure what she's really, for which call she's going. Just tapping back her own one. Oh, it's her last stone. She somehow needs to tap back, I think, the out yellow one. Yeah. Say, to make sure that the shot one is off. Yeah, good shot. Now she's lying 1. The question is there a chance for Germany to get rid of both yellow ones? I think there still is. but the angles are not too good.
Perhaps even one yellow. It's all about the angles.
The question is if they could use this so-called drag effect. Just playing on the first yellow one and playing it on the right side, so just pretty straight maybe, and run back the red one who's lying third position right now, and then on the yellow one who's shot. So probably the only chance she has right now. And when you have less than the radius, like you can also, you probably have the other angle. You take away the red one in the direction you play, so you won't hit it like that the red is going too far on the left-hand side. So we'll see.
Difficult shot.
Maybe for one, when it's running perfectly for Germany, maybe for two. She definitely needs to play this better than her first one. No, she's pretty straight. Ah, here you go, here you go. It's for two.
Yep, great result. Well played by Andrea Schopp. Looks a little bit risky, but it worked out for Germany. Nicely played. And Germany get themselves back into this game after 3. Germany 2, Japan 2. See a few Germany flags around the arena, some Japanese ones too. All sorts of countries represented here. Norway, New Zealand, China.
The attendance is not so much as expected. I think there will be coming more on the weekends, but it's a pretty low season so far. It's not touristy season. So less people in town.
There's the numbers so far. 3 ends played. We're into 4th end of this World Curling Federation Olympic Qualification Event 2013. It's the first event of its kind. And 2 places for the men's and 2 places for the women's teams up for grabs in Sochi in 2014. And it's not that long away, so the 2 countries that do qualify will have to get themselves prepared, because all the other teams that have qualified have been working towards this for quite some time. But I guess this is good practice as well for, you know, it's good level.
Definitely, it's just a great chance. Of course, it's nice to have a long time before to preparate for your Olympic season. But still, I mean, this is a great opportunity, and the years before, when you just had the World Championships to qualify for, it's really tough, and so it's a good chance for other nations to have the final spots, and everybody's going for it, and
keeps
probably
the profile
get
up.
this. Yeah, and just imagine what how you say boost you have when you just start from this event qualified, and you're going the next 2 months. Be there in Sochi, yeah.
What a high, and she would love to be there. She's played well for Germany, Stella Heiss. And is there a bit of pressure on Germany with funding and things like that if
definitely,
they don't qualify?
Yeah, definitely. For German curling, it's so necessary that at least one team is qualifying for the Olympic Games. We haven't had really good results the last years, so and as we were not applying for Olympic Games, not bidding for, so it's the development of curling in Germany is really much depending on the Olympic results, and when you're not attending there, it's not good for the funding. And we are really competing with a lot of other winter sports that where we are very successful in. And curling is not this popular. Also, we had quite good results the years before, but in the recent past, it was not this perfect.
So this is challenging times for curling in Germany, with all these other countries putting money into the sport and developing Mikaho Onodera, the second for Japan, 72%.
Well, this is a kind of solid game, but it's not spectacular, I would say. It's just...
She certainly played well last night for Japan.
A little bit short. Should be over hawk line. But the question is how helpful this guard will be later on. Just covers the right side of the house, but it's a good opportunity for the opponent to even come around this guard with the lightweight takeout.
Muskatovic is 70% tournament accuracy. So a mixed bag for her. Some good ones, some bad ones.
At this age, it's always like this. You're up and downs. That's the difference. I mean, in this A level, you can see nations like Canada, all Sweden, Scandinavia, and all these medal candidates. You can say they are so consistent in the way they play. They play the whole season on high level, playing the Grand Slam competition, the World Curling Tour, the Curling Champion Tour events, and that makes you really consistent in the way you play.
Yeah, you've got quality opposition for a lot of the year.
And all the other teams, they're really having this up and downs during the season, and also during one competition like here, or even during one game. You're having perfect end, and then the next end you're giving up some rocks, and that's why you lose.
This one's heading for the red.
Good attempt, but losing the shooter. So it's another good opportunity for Germany to place another one. Come around attempt of Imogen Onaleman. 83%, which is really good. But with her draws, she's struggling a little bit. Thinking of the one, I think 2 ends before, also short. So this will not reach the house, or close at least.
Yep, despite the sweeper's efforts.
Yeah. That's one of those things you really need to make sure that you at least reach the ring somehow.
Yumiya Funayama, 72%, so she's not great either. But as the game goes on, well, the stats can go both ways, can't they? So generally, Japan's have improved.
That's just coming in. A little bit too much weight, a little bit over T. The question is, they're lying shot now, but the question is, what will Germany do? Just follow this pass. And the decision is made by Andrea Schaap. So play the red one right in front of the yellow one. Freeze it.
Or else.
So they're going for the weight. They're Stella and Nicole said, well, it's going to be a weight of 5 and 6, so they call the zones where they expect the stones to end. So good call of them, and a good throw of Imogen.
Nicely played, really nicely played. Not as easy as it looks. Meantime, let's see what's happening on sheet D. Latvia against China. It's been going to and fro all the way there. 2-1 to Latvia at the moment, and Bing Wang with the last stone, similar to a couple of ends ago. Yeah, just looking for...
Yeah. Really good throw, really good. necessary, but really good.
Yep, important. She was looking at going 2 down there, so they claim 1 shot China, and that takes it to Latvia 2, China 2 after 4 ends. We're in the 4th end of our featured game between Germany and Japan.
And meanwhile, a really nice answer of Yumi Funayama. So she played another freeze in front of the red one and lying shot rock. So as you can see, she already improved her percentage, 75% so far. And Andrea Schepp now 70% is also, I would say, some space buff.
Room for improvement.
And that's one of the things I don't like to see, like this, the way of rotation. It's a little bit too less, so a lot of swing on this, and then there's no chance for the sweepers to hold this in line.
You can see how much that was swinging there.
And that's one of the things she probably doesn't like when I talk about this, but it's just the way you need.
There should have been more rotation.
More rotation to make the, because even in the weight, you lose the weight by throwing it this way. And it's a pity because it probably was not executed so bad, but just a little bit more rotation, and you make sure that, just you can see here a little bit less, a little bit late.
And there wasn't much the girls could do there, was there?
Yeah. Well, and with her first shot, Ayumi Ogasawara, she has a good chance to really play another draw.
Let's watch the release here,
Yeah.
Uli.
Yeah, just a little bit more active, a little bit more positive, and just make sure that the rotation stays steadily and keep this rock on a good line, on a controlled line.
Just gives the sweepers more options, doesn't it? Makes it,
of course,
makes more things possible.
A little bit too short the way she played, but the way it was curling from the outside to the inside was a more controlled line. It was just a question of weight. So China lying 1.
Japan.
China. Okay. Good morning.
Sally, we're still a bit rusty.
That's when you
getting ready for our coffee.
Yeah. That's when you let your eyes going around in the arena and not watching the monitor.
China are playing out there.
I was going on the yellow. So, very important stone now for Andrea Schepp. Needs to make sure to have a good.
What is it with some players with the lift at the back? What does that do?
You want me honestly to answer this? No,
people like to know these things.
She stays the technique she was learning far back. It's just like, it's okay.
The way she's always done it.
Yeah,
okay.
And it's okay. I mean, for her the way, but I say.
Let's see where it goes though.
Yeah. First, and then we go for the technique. It was a good attempt, a good throw, but not shot rock. But at least the spot where she placed it, it's not too bad. It leaves less space for the Japanese skip to go for a second shot rock. So it's hard to get the deuce now. You really have to go from the outside.
Again.
Just maybe have 40 square centimeters, something like that.
Just trying to limit Japan's options and number of points here.
Because with the hit out, you don't have a chance to get like a second shot rock. You just need to play the draw, and you really have to go from the outside. And that means that it's kind of frosty. It's not a lot of stones played on this outer part of the rink. So you have to make sure that you put a little bit more weight on, also a little bit more active, and make sure you have I would say, ground weight somehow to get over these frosty areas, and then make sure in the end you have enough speed.
So last stone of this 4th end from the Japanese skip.
Now they need to wait for the breaking point. The stone's curling into the inside. Looks good. Oh, but a little bit too less curl. I think it's not enough. No. So this looks pretty much that it's only one. So they're pointing to the yellow one.
So the German tactics worked there. And Japan claim a point, but only a point. It takes them into the lead after 4. Germany 2, Japan 3.
Well, just coming back to your question, Alison, about the technique, it's just every technique works when you play the stone. If it works, if you have success on that, so it's no question about the technique. But I think you reduce, like, the less movement you make, the less points you need to, like the delivery. If you have just 4 or 5 points you put on the delivery, or you have just 2 or 3 points you make. So it's a difference, and possibilities when you make failures or you make it not correct, it's just you reduce. So you see nowadays a really reduced delivery. Like some people just stand up and just release from this point. Even Andrea's doing it, but she's still lifting up the rock, and then you really have a smooth put it down to the ice, and
you have to make sure it's smooth.
Yeah.
It's like a golf swing, isn't it? If you have too long a golf swing, there's more room for error, I would think, in coming through the ball.
In former days, it's just like really you were lifting up the rock to speed it up, and you don't need it anymore. You don't need it anymore.
But I guess it's difficult to change if that's the way you've been doing it, and it has worked pretty well for her all these years. It's a close game though, and hard to pick a winner at the moment.
So, well, interesting right now, so far, that Japan is playing a defensive stone into the house. So, interesting so far, as Germany is calling for a defensive takeout. So, it seems to me that they really try to go for blank end, or at least for easy 2, if they have a chance for, but not really forcing the 2 right now. So they maybe want to keep the hammer starting the 6th end. So the question is what Japan, if they're really asking for another draw into the house, they might go for another takeout, the German team. But this looks not too long. But it's front house. Okay. Okay. Good weight, very controlled. That's what they wanted. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Now she's going for the corner guard. I thought she was going for really a defensive end, Andrea Schepp, but now she's calling the corner guard, Stella Heiss.
Is that something she's just changed as a result of the Japanese stone? Or is that just because she feels like it?
Maybe, actually I don't really know, I don't understand, because it would be a good chance, okay, make it an easy end, go for, maybe when you have the chance making 2, why not, but not really forcing it. And the problem is ending up like this stone into the house gives the opportunity of another takeout for Japan. This is not really helpful. And then you're lying in a position where you maybe are forced to make 1 with your last when you...
Japan straight onto that red. Get rid of it straight away.
It's okay there. Good shot, hit and roll to the center. Kaho Odera. This one was started as well, so this started to curl pretty much at the beginning. Yeah, Nicole Muscate was asking, was this played, I don't know, the round, like if she started or not? And yes, definitely. But it's okay. I mean, you need to know what the mistake was. So it was like playing a little bit to the inside. And then on this ice conditions, it's a lot of swing you get.
But curlers love that. Gives them so much scope to make the great shots.
Yeah, you definitely have more alternatives, more opportunities. But it's, on the other hand, more challenging. If you have more straight ice, it's easier to run it down straight.
You see this one swinging now.
I would say not perfect. A little bit too far away from the house and a little bit too far on the right-hand side. So it's a good chance for Germany to attack this yellow one in the house. So for Nicole Muskatowicz, a good chance to play a better one now. But Andrea Schepp says, well, there's no line so far. Here it comes. Good shot, really good shot. So the red one is lying shot right in front of the yellow one. And also covered from the guard, so this is a good chance now. But also quite a good answer of Yumi Funijama. Just making sure that there's less space for Germany to put another one in. Also Germany still lying shot rock. And I think Imogen Ona-Lehmann is asked to play another come around, another corner freeze, I would say, on the yellow one. Just to have the chance to maybe run this red one on the yellow one and maybe lying 2 or 3 shots later on. But as we remember, she has always been a little bit short, and it looks like it's the same again with this one. It's not
Super's tried hard there, but couldn't get it any further.
I always think it's her first shot. Maybe we'll have to listen if it's the way she plays it, or maybe she has a little bit shorter rock. That could happen as well, that you have different kind of rocks. But the way she looked, she was not unhappy.
No, no.
She was not happy. She
wasn't happy.
Yeah.
She knew.
Probably played light.
So this is the end before the break, so would be good to go in a positive frame of mind for either team.
I was wondering, for me, a little bit too much sweeping on this one. They should make sure that it's a little bit more curl to the inside, and even if they stay front forefoot, would be nice. So they give Germany a good chance to tap this yellow one back and lying 2. They say, well, it's probably too much. It looks like really back house weight and too much, so they straightened up.
Yeah,
that's always the answer. Like you're short with the first one, and then you overthrow the second one, and that's a missed opportunity.
To me, that seems a very easy mistake to make. You don't want to be too cautious, but it's just getting that balance, just knowing how much of a notch to up it by.
But now they were discussing, like Imogen, she has really problems. She's not confident about her stones. So the first one is somehow a little bit shorter, and the second one pretty straight. So at least she has not a really good feeling. Of course, they were in the practice time. They were figuring out which pairs are the perfect pairs for especially for Andrea and Imogen. So you want to make sure that everybody has a good pair. But they were talking about maybe switching to the stones of Nicole.
If it can make a difference, they're going to try, aren't they? And by contrast, Japan very confident in most of their stones.
And they really take a huge advantage of this mistake. Lying 2 now and lying really nice.
Just that red one sitting amongst them. Surrounded.
How do you call on this red one when you're just surrounded by 4?
There's always a way.
A roller coaster position. What is it?
There's the colours if you needed to know. Japan in slightly better position here, Uli, for sure.
And it could get even worse. I mean, it's a good chance to get rid of this red one as well later on. Not only the question for Germany how to get there. They're really already thinking of, okay, how can we prevent that they steal more than 1 or 2? So 2 mistakes by Imogen Lehmann, and anyway, it doesn't help her if she shakes the head right now. She really
kann eher vorne 8 sein, also ich kann keinen Shot mehr machen. Also ich kann nur verhindern, dass sie 3 klauen statt 2.
Just analyzing the situation, she said, well, there's no chance for me getting shot. The only thing that I need to make sure that she's no chance for stealing 3 or 2.
Yep, important shot from Andrea Schoppe. Up against it, Germany in this end.
Has been a really good chance to get out of this end with maybe 1 or 2. It totally changed what they're going now. And there's a little bit of touch on the first. No, this was not good call. Yeah, that's
and she
typical Andrea. I need to translate. Well, okay. I will do so. Okay. Well,
can you say that on air?
Yeah, I can. Now it's not like really no bad words, but just say, well, if Imogen calls, then you have to sweep, because they were going for the alternative. They want to go on the back one. But I think this is a result of when you always, like, as a sweeper, you don't know when really listen to them or listen to her or whatever. They don't have a really they don't, how to say, trust in what they're doing right now. They are not sure what they're doing, and not the way.
It's having an impact. And Andrea just very frustrated. But she's got to keep her team going, encourage them, and.
But that's the thing. One critic I might say here, like, it's one. She really built up this team for a really good period of time. But right now I have the feeling it's always like it's so much depending on the way she's playing, on the way what her mood is, and if they either win or they lose.
It must be hard for the rest of the team. Down Japan looking for a really decent score in this end.
Okay.
I think they're quite happy about that.
It's a really dangerous situation for Germany. Well, we'll see what the overhead. They are happy, of course. Yeah, they know this was a really crucial shot now. Put the pressure on Germany. They're lying, I think, 3 shots now.
They knew exactly where they wanted it to be. And there it goes. And
well, now we see the next position. There might be a little bit of chance to maybe remove
haben nur 3 verhindert.
Yeah.
Den einfach versuchen
Well,
weg, oder?
the resume of Andrea Schepp is the only thing. Right now they're lying 3. I need to make sure that it's not more than 2. I have the chance to just get rid of 1 yellow one. So for this she needs to hit, I think, the red yellow one a little bit on the left hand side and keep the shooter there. And then it's probably only 2 for Japan. Narrow place in this 4-foot.
All her experience and knowledge now needs to come to play. If she's to save anything, salvage anything here. Last stone, 5th end for Germany.
This is a little bit on the left-hand side, a little bit too far outside, and probably hits too straight. No, was not well thrown. It's, I think, a 3.
It's definitely 3. That's a sore one for Germany. They were up against it all the way in that end. But they lose out 3 stones, 3-2 Japan. Very good end for them. They played it well. There's the Japanese fans. I think the bank are sponsoring this team, and that's the colours of the bank. The green, so if you hear those jingly bells, that's Team Japan. And after 5, Germany 2, Japan 6 now. So probably quite a good time for Germany to take stock, have a chat with the coach, have something to eat, and just think what their strategy is for the next part of the game.
Yeah. Well, of course, it's need to be somehow offensive, but you don't need to get wild. Well, chance for us to go for the highlights. So it's a 3rd end. It's a really nice shot of Andrea Schepp. Good chance for, well, difficult chance for making 2, but she was making it. Nice takeout. Almost a chance for 3, but in the end it was 2. So we're tying. And then the 4th end. A neat chance for making 2 with a come-around draw. But it stays a little bit on the outside. A little bit too less finish in the end. Good weight, but too less curl. So the yellow one on the right side that counts. So it's a 3-2 lead after 4 ends. And then in the 5th, this was this break by a mistake of Imogen Lehmann. No chance for Andrea Schepp to prevent the counting of Japan, but then she overthrows it a little bit too straight, and therefore a steal of 3, which means the lead of 6-2 for Japan.
Let's check out on Latvia against China. The Latvian skip with the final stone. Iveta Stasastastuni, 5th end. Very tight game, this one, against the Chinese favourites, and she managed to claim a point. They look at it, but it is the red stone, and that is a point for Latvia. And that takes their score to 3-2 over China. And in the other game on sheet C, it's Norway 3, Italy 2, 6th end. Let's listen out to what the coach is saying.
Ja, ich darf auf keinen Fall außen gehen. Also, die spielen jetzt nicht gut, deswegen spielen wir jetzt gut und dann...
Well, Stella Heiss just said, well, actually they're not playing this well, so so we just need to play better ourselves. So they're right. I mean, it's not a really good game on both sides, but definitely Germany was giving up a big end, a good chance, and it was perfect outcome for Japan. A nice present, you would say.
But the body language and everything else is entirely different, and the mood appears entirely different.
And that's the point. And that's where it's not the way when you really... Of course, there are positive moments, but it's very singular. You could see the way they're standing together. Everybody's was on his own on the German side and the Japanese side. Of course, when you're on the winning track, it's easier. But still, I think I would suggest when they're on the losing track, Team Japan would always stay together and somehow have a really good talk.
There's a stat, Sully. What do you make of those?
Well, it's a 10% advantage of Japan in general, but you could see like on the draws, more advantages on the Japanese side, 78% there. I would say it's a little bit, but the big advantage is like the stolen points. It's four points for Japan, and that's what you can see on the scoreboard.
You have to make that last stone count.
Yeah.
There's the names and numbers on the board. 5 ends played, and that big 3 for Japan. That big steal of 3 in the 5th end as Japan get this 6th end underway. Our featured game, Germany against Japan at this World Curling Federation qualification event. Japan unbeaten so far, and Germany with a must-win game here if they're to have any chance of making those playoffs.
Well, Germany, the next game has Norway at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and then tomorrow in the early morning, Italy. So both games they can win. They're able to, but still then they pretty much depending on what the others do. And right now, if you win this, you're in a position where you can be responsible for your own destiny.
Yeah, so rather than relying on what's happening elsewhere.
So, of course, Germany placed the corner guard. That's funny. One of the things you really don't like if you have to get rid of your own stone. What Michiko Tomabeki needs to do, like they're peeling their own guard.
Always seems such a waste that of a stone. 77% for this game. Michito.
It'd be interesting what what you would get for the stats probably when you remove your own stone, but this was
a good
on
peel.
purpose, yeah.
It was well executed.
Yeah. Well, okay, now they try to peel the red ones. She said, well, we played from the outside, just as we know that it stays pretty straight when you're playing with the intern, like rotation clockwise.
Cahill Nadera, 70% for the game.
So we'll see another corner guard by Nicole Muskatewicz. So the German team tries to keep Japan busy in front of the house for a moment, and then later on they will start playing into the house, try to use the corner guard.
Nein, der läuft.
Hard sweeping for the line to make sure that you not only get rid of the red one, but also your own one. So everything's good. Team Japan plays it really well. taking the chances they had, especially in the end before, and then end 2 as well when they got their steals.
Sieht länger aus.
So another corner guard.
Nein, 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 nein. Nein, 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 nein. Der läuft, der läuft, der läuft.
Just want to get sure that they're lying on the same level, like that there's no chance for playing a double takeout on both guards. So this is okay.
So 6-2 down, it's still retrievable, isn't it?
It is, definitely.
Yeah.
It's just like, and the most important thing that you don't go too crazy at the moment. There are 5 ends to go, just be patient. If you take a 2 now, maybe steal another one. So there's some chances. Of course, a 3 would be nice for Germany right now, but you really have to be patient and wait for your chance. And then have to be really aware, okay, here it goes. Here it goes. There's the miss.
Wait for the other team to make a mistake, and then...
And now it's the situation now. Now you have a chance to really making 2 or even more. You have 2 corner guards and just need to have a good come around now. 58%. Now that's...
Yeah, that was that disappointing last end for sure. Wonder if she's got her feel and her touch and her pace back.
Remember, she was always short with her first one. This looks better. The call was 5, like in the weight, how the sweepers expect. So this is good. It stays before T-line. It's also a little bit covered by the corner guard. So much better.
From Imogen.
Yeah. And Japan decides to go via the corner guard. Hard sweeping for line. They tried to maybe even run back, but they overcurled. They were having it on the wrong side, I would say. They're trying to have it on the left side, but okay, at least they opened up the corner guard.
Yep, not the worst outcome.
No.
Sheet D, Latvia, China, that very important game for the favourites here. Binghu Wang, also known as Betty, with the final stone of this 6th end. China behind at the moment. You can see there's a red there, and it's away, and that means they finish with 2 and 2 points for China, and they edge in front in that game against Latvia after 6 ends. Latvia 3, China 4. Still very close though. A wee bit of a gap in our featured game between Germany and Japan, 6-2 to the Japanese team.
Well, meanwhile, a really nice come around. Although I thought they were touching the guard a little bit. I think they were a little bit too high with the weight, and then Andrea was calling for a slight touch by the guard, so to stop this stone on the right side. But Germany's lying 2.
It's a good view of what's happening right down on the ice there, and the view that she will have.
We're going for a hit and roll, so they're not trying to get rid of the shot rock, so they're going on the second and try to run the own yellow one to the right side. Well, I think the red one still lies shot. The question is if you go for a takeout now, or if you try to get more out of this end and go for another draw. Would be an opportunity.
What would you do?
Well, yeah, just was listening to Andrea. That's one thing. If you really want to go going for 3, you need to go behind the corner guard. But still, this is a risk. If you're not perfect, there's maybe a chance for double takeout, or if you're not like shot rock. I think she needs to go now to the corner guard. She needs to take a risk. Takeout is only, well, a chance for 2.
And that's the positions of the countries at the moment. China and Japan looking good. Germany really could do with a win here to take them up to 3. And perhaps that's affecting Andrea's thinking.
Yeah, she needs to take that risk right now. So they're going for a come around. Also, I think with this shot, they might not have the chance to get second or shot rock. But for the moment, maybe it's not this important. Let's see. I mean, if she really wants to be totally covered by the corner guard.
Great view of the line there.
Yeah. But this is a little bit too heavy. So far, they say it's over T. Now there's the curl. Oh, it stops down. But this is a good spot. This is a good, yeah. I would say third rock right now, so the yellow one is better, but at least it's covered and it also covers a little bit the shot rock. So that this puts some pressure on Team Japan.
All those 3 reds more or less in a row behind each other.
She's asking, what can you see of this red one? It's just a piece, I think. Maybe one quarter on the playing position. So she's asking herself for the freeze on the shot rock.
We're discussing it with her vice there. But pretty sure that's what she was doing in her own mind.
Nice to see that Yumi Funajama, she was just telling by pointing to the spots who is like in shot position, who is second position and third position, that the sweepers know what they need to do, where they need to put this rock. So they really need to make sure that after this stone plate that maybe Germany has a chance for 2 but not for more. So this yellow one needs to be somehow second or third rock at least. It's coming, it looks quite controlled. In a good line. Oh, this is good. This is perfect. Just coming there to the spot where she wants to have it. Perfectly played by Ayumi Ogashiwara.
And they're delighted with that. Yeah. Absolutely delighted.
Yeah. Couldn't be any better.
That asks the questions of Team Germany and Andrea Schopp.
It's the only chance for single right now. Really perfectly played. And that's the way they really pretty much in control. They're always looking with the pot. They're really much there. Really great outcome. And it's also important, celebrate those situations, keeping up
enjoy the good moments.
Yeah.
They've done their bit. And Andrea with that game accuracy just needs to make sure that she does get this one.
But this is not too heavy, I would say. Now it's getting, they were starting it right away. But looks okay now. Just make sure you reach the 4 foot. But
yep, no problems
way,
for
yeah.
Andrea Schopp. Nicely played, good weight. She would have wanted more, but I think she'll be happy she got that one. They close the gap very, very slightly on Japan after 6 ends. Germany 3, Japan 6.
From the Japanese point of view, it's just perfectly. It's just they forced Germany taking 1. So they're keeping back in control, having the hammer in the 7th end, having a 3-stone lead as well. So this is quite comfortable for Team Japan right now. That's maybe the characteristic of this game, when you can see like Germany always has somehow a chance, but at the right moment there's always a good answer of Team Japan, especially on the back and like on the position Y skip and skip.
They've responded well
Yeah.
to everything that Germany has done, and it's worked out for them. There's the numbers. Still that 3 in the 5th stands out. And that will be the one, if Germany lose this, that will be the one that they'll look back at and think.
So make sure this stays in front of the house, but of course pretty close to have a chance to play another guard in front of it. And Team Japan is just asking for a draw to the house, to the outside. Just lie 1, and then later on they will start to... Are they going for even a split? That surprises me. I thought they were going for a draw into the house, but they're going splitting the guard. But this won't work.
Strange decision.
I think they were really trying to split. But also another chance will be just like try to play into the house, place it somewhere in the outside, and let play Germany some guards, and then you start getting rid of these guards later on. And you're already lying 1 or 2 shots in the house. Anyway.
You're watching live coverage of the World Curling Federation qualification event 2013. All these countries vying for places in the Olympic Games, 2 men's, 2 women's. Need to get to the top 3 in the standings to have a chance. We are focusing on Germany against Japan, and at the moment you would definitely favour Japan, that's for sure. 6-3 up.
The question, she could get rid of her own one, so she could play a takeout on the yellow one, but she's not allowed to remove any red one. We are still in the free guard zone rule.
And you're listening to me, Alison Walker, and Uli Kapp, 2-time Olympian, world champion, bringing us...
No world champion.
I'm going to make you world champion. World finalist. But it's the Olympics is the one. And you've been there. And you know what it means to these players to play in Olympic Games.
That's huge. It's just huge. It's just not only because you have this fantastic stage just to show the world how great this sport is. It's just for, as an athlete, just to get this experience, being there, marching in for the opening ceremony, for the closing.
Is it almost life-changing, would you say? Life-changing experience?
It's just one thing you experience in your life. It's just, you never forget this. I mean, it's just great. Hard to explain what emotions going on. Of course, personally, for me, it was pretty much disappointing. Like in '98, we were getting there as vice world champion, European champion, and then you're ending up being last at the Olympic Games by just winning, I think, 1 or 2 games. So this was very, very disappointing. But still, it was a good experience just being there on the first really counting Olympic Games for curling. And then in 2006, it's just like also more experiences. We get there, but didn't work out so the way we wanted.
We're heading over to sheet D again. Latvia against China, 7th end. China, remember, 4-3 up. Iveta Stasa Sasuni with the final stone. And she's usually pretty good at her draws.
This looks pretty controlled. So they're tying the game.
Yep, no problem there for Latvia. They're hanging on in there against the favourites, China. She's pulled level. Latvia 4, China 4 after 7.
So they were just asking which weight, and she said a little bit more, 1-2 meters, but she also reduces where she puts the broom, so the ice she's giving. Expect a little bit less swing. It's very important for Germany now to place the stone somewhere in front of the house to have a chance to use it later on, but this overcurls and will be on the guard.
Just catches it.
Yeah. And lies open. So another good chance for Japan to get rid of this red one.
Yeah.
And that's what's missing in the German game. It's not too precise, not forcing any errors, any mistakes by Team Japan. Cannot put any pressure on. Well, the question for Japan is either you play a takeout on the red one or you place another yellow one. So they're in the comfortable situation that they're lying two. They always have the chance, okay, play another one in, make this room narrow there for Germany and maybe get rid of the red one later on.
Is it too early to really play to the scoreboard? They say play to the scoreboard, and
well, it's just like right now they I want to say play to the scoreboard. It's just like make sure that you're in control for Team Japan. Just like really get another good end, make 1-2. You're pretty much in control.
Yep, do the basics well. Keep it simple.
That's the one. You're actually really early in the game still. I mean, there's some chances for Germany, but it's hard. As long as from Team Japan's perspective, just make the basic shots, keep it simple, stay in control, and everything works well. If you start too early, just to really play defensive, peel everything, you change your style of game, and that's always a momentum maybe later on if you're not playing peel too good, because remember the guard splits are very difficult stones, and then you lose somehow. If you force yourself making some mistakes, you lose your confidence somehow.
Yep,
and
yeah,
this is somehow a momentum. So why change the game when you're successful in the way you play right now?
Yeah, but it's working. It's Germany who have the problems. But you know, one mistake, one stone, how quickly it can change. And Germany can be right back in it.
So nice perspective we get here, like following the stone. And they need to start it right away, and another like started stone as well from the direction. So it's on the guard. So it's not well played by Team Germany this morning. Too many mistakes also by the release.
Yep, I don't know if they had a good night's sleep last night, maybe.
Somehow there was a little bit shaking, but I think the balance was not the problem, but the way she just give it or released it from the hand, it was starting again, and it started to curl clean right away. Yeah. Well, you said the way the problem maybe for Team Germany was they needed to rest the whole day yesterday, so they had the bye, and there was only one.
Bye. Yep,
I was looking at the schedule and said, well, it's not nice when you need to rest one day. It's always breaks the rhythm somehow.
But it's happening to every team.
Yeah,
every team has a rest day, so maybe it just. But it must impact.
Yeah.
It must. Although there would be chance to practice, but that's not the same, is it? There's the colours again. How often have we seen that little cluster of yellow stones close to the...
And that's what Team Japan is doing much better than Germany. Having a look on Rainer Schepp.
He looks quite philosophical, doesn't he? Is that how we would describe it? You know him well.
He's well experienced. Never, he's well experienced curler. I mean, the Team Shep, they really for so many years involved in the curling. The only thing I would say that somehow, if you want to improve for next areas, whatever, you need to work. And that for me, from my perspective, they stick too much the way they were doing before, and that's maybe where you lose somehow the skills.
Be open to new ideas and new ways of doing things, perhaps.
Well, coming back to the situation, the big difference in this game is like Team Japan, China again, no, it's Team Japan, like they really know how to keep control of the forefoot, this decisive area, the front house, and they place the stones, they place the rocks right where they want to have it, and makes it difficult for Team Germany. So 3 yellow shot rocks and 3 yellow before the T-line, so it's really difficult for Germany to somehow put some pressure on Japan right now. Yeah, tap back maybe.
Yeah, they could do with Japan making a mistake of some kind and
some resignation.
She's kind of shaking her head and thinking, where do we go from here?
These are really difficult shots, I mean, but when you're not making the easier shots, of course.
And she is a very talented, very skillful player. We've seen that over the last few years, but just one or two wayward.
But then you're coming to the point. You need really, when you have this talent in you, you somehow need to how you activate this, and it's just too much up and downs in the German game this season. Same thing they had during the Europeans. I know that the skills, the way, the technique, they have it right there, but they're not able to really use it. And that's the pity. Another attempt, but not really big problem for Team Japan. They're still lying 2 and they are guarded as well, and they have another, I would say, luxury problem where to put this other red stones. No need to get rid of the red ones by a takeout. Of course, they could close this port. Another chance would be maybe play one stone in front of the red ones. So there are several options. Maybe just going for a takeout. I mean, just get rid of the red one there and lying a little bit to the left. Yeah, that would be nice. Or just rolling in there. Because this means also a chance for Germany to get there by a takeout. There, once again, there's no need to really play a takeout on the red one, but somehow you need to make sure that you be in control in this zone, in this area. And the question is it easier to make it with a draw? And right now I think it's probably a little bit too difficult. The draw won't help too much, so maybe it's the time for calling a takeout. So I think it's okay. So it's okay. I would say the outcome is okay. So Team Japan is lying. We see the repeat again. She's coming out a little bit, straightening up maybe in the end, the way she released.
Not as fluid.
Yeah. And then
just missing the other red there.
But good that she stays in the rink on 4th position.
Andrea Schopp, 61% in her draws. Doesn't inspire confidence.
Yeah.
World champions, this team, in 2010 in Canada. A couple of new members, though, since then.
Now they need to take it for the line. A little bit over curling and a little bit too short, but it's not too bad. I mean, at least there's some opportunities later. Another tap back, maybe. So the question is what the answer of Team Japan is. They had the alternatives, I would say, like going for a hit and roll, what they're pointing right now, or just placing one shot before the rink or even into the house, just to...
Yeah, I think she might be looking right in there. And again, it's whatever you feel most confident with.
I think there's really no need to really cover this red one, because there's no, the only chance would be for Germany to tap back this red one to be shot, but for a takeout I think there's no good angle. So for Team Japan, maybe either rolling to the inside or rolling to the outside. Now they're going for a timeout. I think it's good to use it right. For them, maybe it's just a question. We have a good chance to even finish the game if we go for maybe a 2 or 3 in this end. I would like to play one shot just short front of the house and close the situation. Take the 2. Make it easy and hard for Germany.
Just like applying the screw, isn't it? Just
like playing the takeout on the right side, like on the 4-foot stone on the right side. You maybe give the chance for Germany to answer if it's not rolling to the right spot.
So here he is, Fuji Miki.
It's funny, we're listening to Rainer Schepp now. So
Yeah, I thought that didn't sound
yeah. So that
too
was
Japanese.
not Japanese. I should know.
Maybe he's giving a view of the Japanese situation from a German perspective.
Yeah. Well, he said, well, just he would recommend to really close the door, like what to draw there.
Inside?
What
do you think?
Funny, he asked for really going for a hit and roll. I mean, there's a chance, of course, but I think even when they roll perfectly, there's still a chance for Germany to tap their own back, and that I would. Now Japan is going for 3 right now. They really try to make it safe now, go for the big end, but I think there's no need. I think if they would place a stone right in front of the house to cover also the left red one and the one sitting in front 4-foot, would be perfectly. They would be safe for 2 and reduce the chance for Germany to do anything in this end. I think this would be...
So you think it's the wrong decision?
I don't like this, actually. We'll see.
If it works, then of course it's the right decision.
Always like that. Let's see where she rolls. To the outside. Okay. Well, now Germany has 2 chances. Either the hit and roll, just the same shot maybe as Ayumi Okasawara was playing, but of course rolling to the inside, or tapping back the own red one.
Ja, in der Hose geht auch. Dass er nicht den nur vorbringt. Ja, wobei das
gut,
ist nur
dann
2.
sind 2, oder? Also ich hätte jetzt gesagt den, aber
Müsste schon gehen normal, oder?
denke ich schon, ja.
I think that's what they're calling for there. I think it's possible to tap back their own red one to get shot rock.
Hallo?
Und so ein bisschen hin.
Schieben. Ja.
So that's the call. Difficult anyway. But also the hit and roll will be very difficult. So there's no good alternative. So she needs the right weight and of course the right direction. Passing the guard pretty close and make sure to get the red one pretty straight or almost a little bit on the inside.
Very important shot for Germany, and Andrea Schopp decide the outcome of this end more or less.
Looks not so bad, but a little bit too short.
Just wanted to nudge it a bit more.
That was another thing, just to analyze this. That's what's missing in the German team. There's just like too much. Andrea Schopp just was going for the line. Of course, they need to go, but the sweepers were saying it's short. We need to sweep it, and so the outcome is nothing.
No.
Yeah.
But surely when they look back and analyse, they will see that.
Do they analyze? I don't know. Well, of course they will do analyze. I don't want to be too nasty in that, but it's just missing.
Yeah.
It's just you're
and it's just
up.
such a shame for Germany because you can see how that could have worked out better for them. And with this lady playing like she is at the moment, 80% on her 10 draws, Ayumi Oga Azawara. You know, it's been a big ask for Germany anyway.
This over curls, they couldn't hold it. They want to go for an Invic, but that doesn't work. So it's just only 2.
Yep, so
chance of 3.
Perhaps a little let off for Germany, not quite as much, but it's still 2.
Team Japan is definitely in control. That's the only thing. 2 is quite comfortable.
Yep, they're definitely the ones on the high after 7 ends. It's now Germany 3, Japan 8. Is there any way back for the German team?
Now they need the big ends, I would say.
What's the biggest margin you've ever come from behind and won the game?
Hard to say what we were. I think 5 or 6 down against Scotland, and we won this.
Well,
sorry to say so.
It would have to be Scotland, wouldn't it?
But it's far way back. I think it was at the European Championship in 2000. We played Scotland in the round robin, and I think we were down 1-7 or 2-7, but we won 8-7. So it works sometimes.
So it happens.
Yeah.
But you just feel playing that the way they are at the moment that it's not looking likely.
It's both. You need the spirit somehow. It's the body language. It's just like you need to believe, hey, come on, we know that we can play better. And then you need, of course, mistakes from the opponent as well. And Team Japan looks to me pretty confident. They're really in control of the game. The way they throw the rocks, the way they act on the ice.
And really probably from the kind of 4th end onwards, has been all about Japan.
Yeah, definitely. I think at the beginning we said it's pretty close. There were good chances, a good opening of both teams. But the momentum changed totally.
So we're in this 8th end of the World Curling Federation Olympic qualification event, round robin match between Germany and Japan. Alison Walker, Nuli Cap, bringing you all the action live from the BLZ arena in Füssen in Germany. And we're comparing the leads now. Heiss against Tomabecci. And Heiss has had a decent enough game.
Yeah, it's good from both sides. And this is a nice challenge you have when you just have to throw your rock through. So this was on purpose.
I could do that.
You can do more than that.
My touch is not great. Not like these guys.
It's all about the spirit.
Oh, I can do the spirit bit, no problem.
So Germany tries to build up some chances. So they play some corner guards, keep Team Japan busy in front of the house. But this angle Ayumi Ogasawara is looking for. Maybe there's a chance for a double takeout. Just get the first one on the inside, maybe half a rock, and then running the yellow one to the other red one. Looks good. And well swept. A little bit of touching the red one. Really nice shot.
Yep, good outcome. Important 8th end here in the Latvia-China game on sheet D. Bingo Wang with the last stone. I'm looking for a big score here. Eighth end, but could be crucial. And it is, it's 3 for China. And that gives them a 7-4 lead. And how significant will that be? With only a couple of ends to go. Latvia 4, China 7.
It pretty much looks like that Japan and China are staying undefeated, and they battle each other in the last round-robin game tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock. So they probably will decide who will be in the first and the second position. And another nice shot here, another good double taker attempt by Kaho Onodera.
Plenty of smiling faces in the Japanese camp. Enjoying it. It's always good when you're winning and you're playing well, as you know, Uli.
Yeah, it's much easier. That's one of the things you really need to do when you're like on a curling team and you want to perform well. It's just all about how to handle this momentums or this stressing things when you're facing a bad stone, or just to get over it. You would say, like, from the mental part, flush it down somehow or get rid of it and try to focus on the next situation. And when we are compared to like golf sport or tennis sport, where you always have a lot of time to think of things, what happened, what could happen, or what happened before, and you have a lot of time to think yourself. And the difference to those sports is still that you're not, these are not team sports. So you have 4 players, so you have 4 chances. People are really challenging with themselves and with the team to get over this.
Yeah, you can share the load, share the good times, share the stress as well.
Well, I would say I was just looking up a little bit. I think also if Germany loses here, there still is a chance for getting 3rd position somehow after the round robin. Just as Latvia is losing maybe as well. So if Team Japan and Team China is going through this round robin, there still is some theoretically chances for Germany, as they are playing in Norway and Italy, so chance for putting down Norway as well. And
yep, still one game to go, so it's not over, but it depends on some other scores.
But for sure, they cannot lose another one. So they're somehow with a Back to the wall.
Ja, weiter geht. 3, 4. Ja! 5. Ja! Komm fest, der geht schon noch. Komm fest, es geht weiter, 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 solange läuft. Weiter. Nur ein Stück, nur ein bisschen, wir gehen nur Stücke. Komm fest, es geht.
So they really need to work this one hard to get it into the house, closer to the yellow one, but it stops probably right before. Doesn't matter if this one is in the house, but it's about the position that you maybe use it later on, that you run this back to have opportunities to get somewhere to the shot rock.
Sieht man den roten noch von außen?
Now it's one of the situations, so Team Japan is not really knowing what to do right now. They're probably too late in the end to really open up the middle, so now the question is, are we going with it? Maybe we draw behind the guards, but now I think they make a better call to get rid of this red one in front of the house. Maybe even just lying there, not peeling it off, just stay there with the own one. So they're sweeping hard for line. A little bit of roll to the right side. They even want to get rid of this yellow one. So another chance with the first rock of Andrea Schepp in this end. Yeah, and she just said to her sweepers, to Nicole and to Stella, that we need to get shot rock now. We need to pass the yellow one as well, just to make sure that we are lying one now after this one. But they say it's probably too heavy.
Ich denke, der ist so langsam da außen. Nee, diese andere war einfach so lang gespielt.
They're certainly not going near it in terms of sweeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been the story of the game, really, for Germany. Everybody really just a bit off.
She's just expected to be a little bit slower on this pass, but it wasn't.
The stats say it all.
So another comfortable situation for Team Japan. They're lying shot rock. They can secure this situation by another guard.
So Ayumi Ogasawara's second stone.
Just want to make sure that she prevents Andrea Schepp to get to this shot rock or even draw one better. Probably a little bit light, a little bit too short, but I think it's difficult.
Could still cause Germany problems.
They have a chance to run back the red one to the yellow one, but it's, I think, only one for one, not for two.
And really they need more than one at this stage.
Depending, I think she's not coming with too much weight. Maybe there's a chance that she can keep the shooter, but the problem is, like, maybe you need also enough energy to get rid of this yellow one completely. This is going out of the rink.
Gut Hack. Hack. Gut Hack. Ja. 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 Komm fest.
So they really need to work for the line to make sure that they pass this. Good attempt, get rid of the yellow one, but not enough. That was the point I was thinking of. Was a good attempt for one, of course, but
Yeah, the
I think
secure one.
the one is not enough at all. I think the two, okay, theoretically a chance.
I know they seem quite pleased with that. Something actually working out to a degree, but it's still a long way back for Germany and this lady, Andrea Schopp, after 8 ends, Germany 4.
Only 2 ends to go.
Yep.
So it's just a really theoretically chance to get somehow back into the game.
She really needs Japan to provide a few mistakes.
I would
That's the only
say
way.
twice a steal of 2. That's the game plan for Germany right now, maybe.
And the way Japan have been playing, you can't see that happening. They've just done the basics so well. There we go. The numbers in women's draw 5 in our feature game, Germany-Japan. Japan in control for much of this game and looking good for the win. Should take them on to 4.
2, 2, 3.
So nice center guard of Stella Heiss.
Sagenhefte Technik. Eng rausgekommen dann so.
She anyway has somehow experience in her family of Olympic Games. I think her father has been twice to Olympic Games, or he was former hockey goalie.
And she was there in 2010 in Vancouver as a youngster.
Really nice split, really well played by Michiko Tomabechi. That's the way you play those stones. Really difficult, nice way, like move the red one, the guard of the opponent, and also
So wie eben eigentlich.
roll your own shooter.
Second stone from Stella, who's a soldier in the German army. Very fit young girl.
Fast gleich.
Ja.
Wow, 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 wow.
Yeah, that's one of the things like German sport really is good. That you have a chance like on Olympic sports that you can go for military service and you're more or less sponsored by the army to focus on your sport. Same with Corinna Scholz, who is alternate on this game. So you can say most of the German winter sport athletes are either in the on the German army or on like the German police, the national police.
So it allows the athletes to concentrate on the sport and develop and improve without worrying too much about earning money.
Well, this is not a 3, probably just a 1. Just when we're talking about the weight from the guard, so this is just crossing the hawk line, I would say, but lying in maybe zone of 2. When you divide up the zone, the playing zone, in different numbers, like starting from 1, going maybe up to 10. When you're talking about the zones, but this is individual for every team. as long as you know what you want to play. Yeah. Really nice.
These things happen.
When it's running, you would say. I don't know if it's the right translation on that, but somehow saying in German, somehow if it's working for you.
It's working well. Yeah. Things seem to go for you.
Yeah. So Germany tries to keep the stones in play, and Team Japan with good efforts to get rid of every stone. They're playing it really well. Imogen Lehmann, another guard attempt. Team Germany somehow needs a stone before the house and the miss of Japan to have a chance of a steal. Otherwise, it looks like Team Japan had really good chances to make at least one in this end. Also, they really don't need it. There's a small mistake. The shooter stays like in front of the house, and there's a chance for a come around now for Imogen Lehmann.
So could this be that little opening that Germany have been waiting for? And can they take advantage? It's a very, very small opening. Not a big door, not a big open door.
We don't want to be too optimistic about that. But of course, I mean, for this team, it probably is just about to get somehow a positivum to take it over to the next game. So for us, chance to look what's happening in the Latvia-China game.
Ninth end. 7-4 to China at the moment. Last stone from Iveta Azasarsuni. Just trying to keep her team in here. Bit of a pressurized shot. China currently lying 2-3 even, and successfully made from the Latvian skip. They're hanging on in there. Latvia 5, China 7.
Meanwhile, really nice played stones, both of them. First, Imogen with a nice come around, but then a really nice run back here, played by Yumi Funayama. Also, the shot stone stays at the center guard, so another chance for Germany to use that, to play around this one. Need to make sure to pass the guard. That's easy, but now to bring it to the right spot, probably front 4. It stops a little bit. It's not going too much. And still possible to get this one on the direct way, but they decide to go via the guard to run back the center guard. Would have been the chance to go directly to the sweepers from the other side. They say, why not going directly on that? You see, I think more than, oh, probably the half of the rock. You can see where Michiko Tomabechi sitting in the hack, the perspective of the player. Just to make sure that, yeah, you can see. It's a nice perspective. And whenever you have the chance to go directly, why not? Even if she's just open up the guard, it's not too bad. But she stays with her first thought. The good thing with this shot, when you call this race from coming from this side, you're hitting it on the left side. So you always make sure that you open up the guard and even have the chance to get rid of the red one as well. So from this point of view, it's a good call. And that also is a sign of confidence, that you believe in yourself. Like,
team's going well.
Yeah. She doesn't even mind that this shot is like almost or close to the forefoot. She always think, okay, if I get rid of this guard, I maybe need to draw against 1 or 2, but I have the draw weight for the last one.
Yeah. It's the mark of a confident player.
Perfectly. Good shot.
They have been a very happy team throughout. The Japanese girls, it's just all worked for them today.
Yeah, for me it looks really compact, you would say, like really that everybody knows what to do, everybody like really as a team. Of course it's easier when you win and you're on the winning track, but not only about that, it's just also when you have tough situations, you need to really stick together as a team, win or lose together. That's the most important thing. They're just calling the weight. They expect it to be good, so they need to wait until it has the breaking point when it starts to curl. Now they need to make sure that this is going to be shot. Looks not too bad. Looks actually really good. Really good draw attempt of Andrea Schepp. The question is, again, is there a chance to get this one directly, or do they need to go via the yellow one in front? So that's the angle she's looking for right now. Just tap this back to the red one. But another time they stay with their first thought, maybe a hack weight, so light takeout weight, and try to get rid of this red one on the direct way. Pass the front guard really close and wait for the curl later on. Even a chance maybe for 2 with this rock, but it's pretty difficult. They need to work it right away to pass the guard. It's gonna be difficult. Oh, it's good, it's good, it's good. Perfectly, really good way she calls it and the way she plays it, and that makes it different. I think it's enough.
Yep, that's the end of the game. They've called it quits, and another fantastic victory for Japan. They've played well throughout this game. Germany always on the back foot, and they are absolutely delighted. That's 4 wins now for Japan, and they are well on course for those top ranking places. Final score, Germany 4, Japan 10. And these really are the team to beat here, and it's disappointment for Germany. Really, they never really got it together in this game, did they?
at the very beginning, I would say yes, there were some chances, but they were not using it. And Japan, when they had the chance, they always were taking advantage of it, and that's made the difference. And then the second half, definitely pretty much in control. Team Japan made no mistakes or just last mistake. So another look on the score. It's all over, pretty clear. I would say the steal of 1 in the second, and then of course the steal of 3 in the fifth end that make the difference, and then always the chance of making 2 when it's there, pretty much in control. And you win this game 10-4. So Team Germany stays with just 2 wins and now 3 losses, but they still have the chance and some hopes for reaching the playoffs, but it's also clear that they have, they cannot lose another one. Germany needs to play Czech Republic in the afternoon, 4 p.m. and tomorrow, no, sorry, it's Norway in the afternoon and tomorrow morning, Italy. Japan is playing Czech Republic in the afternoon, and then the last game against China, probably the game between the leading teams. So here's some highlights of the game. It's the fourth end and a chance of 2 for Ayumi Ogasawara. Needs to draw into the 4-foot. Needs to come from the outside, and there was a little bit too less finish in the end, and it was just 1. It was just the draw for tying the game. And in the fifth end, there was a chance here for making. Really important. It was just like here, really good. They were lying free, and there was another one to come from Andrea Schepp, and she couldn't make it, so there was a steal of 3. And this one, a chance for making 3 in this 7th end, but it overcurls and went through, so it stays with 2, but another 2, which means a lead. And in the 9th end, really good win, really good shot of her, another 2, so that was the decision. 10-4 in the end, well deserved, I would say. Big advantages for Team Japan in this game. So 7-6 final score. Not yet, so it's still running, and China leads 7-5. So, and this is a look on the standings so far. Team Japan so far the only undefeated team. China with good chances to also get the 4th win. Czech Republic sitting together with Germany in this position. Germany is now 2-2. So, but still 2 teams had the chance to reach the 3rd place and have the chance to play off for the Olympic tickets. So we're waiting for the interview to come. So I'll take over. Alison Walker's making the interview now.
Could you say to her, is that the game she has enjoyed the most so far? Yes. So you understand?
4試合目なんですけど、その中で一番いい試合ができたと思います。
This is our fourth game, but this is the best game so far for us. Your team played incredibly well all the way through the game.
そうですね、フロントエンドがそこそこだったので、サードと私で、なんとか救って必ず勝たなければいけない試合だったので良かったです。
So the first two players were so-so. So me and Skip, me and third, needed to save them. Needed to be better to win this game.
Did she expect to win all 4 games so far?
Yes.
Yes, you expected to win all 4. You're in a great position now. How does the team feel?
Yes. 内容よりも内容が良くても悪くても勝つことがやっぱり一番なので、あと2戦しっかり勝ってプレーオフにつなげたいと思います。
Well, like we said yesterday, the quality of the game itself was good, but winning is more important. So we have 2 more games, but we should win those 2 games and we should go to playoffs.
Congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
So, very well analyzed. So she was very self-confident. In her answering, she said she expected to be there in this position, and this is good. I mean, it's really demonstrated the way she played here. So they have a really comfortable situation right now. 1 more win, and they're definitely through. I would say already yes, they are already in the in the playoffs, even in the 1-2 position. So this has it been for now for the morning draw. Oli Kapp and Alison Walker say goodbye, and looking forward to have you back here in the BLZ Arena, the Olympic qualification event for Sochi 2013.